Oh man, 2025. Is this the year that VC money turns back to crypto en masse? We're seeing data suggest that this could be a big year for crypto VCs, and as we know, it's important as retail traders and investors to follow some of these big boys, to look at what are the narratives they're buying. In this video, I'm going to share the 4 narratives VCs are locked and loaded with heavy cash to buy up on. I'm going to be sharing some tokens I'm watching and a lot more. If you like this type of content, smash up the likes. Do not forget to subscribe. Let's get straight into this one, guys. And it all starts off with this, and that is that the money coming into VCs is set to be big, right? If we take a look at this, you can see that VC money is set to come in en masse here in 2025, leading up towards Q4, which is this last bar here. Now, of course, this is nothing compared to the big candlesticks, 12 billion we saw come in a single quarter towards the latter end of 2021 going into 2022. We're nowhere near some of those sizes, but the data suggests we could be seeing in excess of 4 billion, close to $5 billion coming in from crypto VC funds in 2025. And with that said, it's important to know what narratives are they buying, right? We know VC funds get in early. We know that they get the pick of all their favorite projects. Which ones are they loading up on? Let's try to see if we can get a clue. So we're going to take a look here, and you can see some kind of insights shared here by Deng Chao, the CEO of Hashkey Capital. But the first thing with you is the first trend, and that is that you want to be watching for AI, right? Whether you like it or not, whether you think AI is a bubble or not, VCs are looking at AI projects. And you can go onto CoinGecko. I'm giving you all the tricks here. Go onto CoinGecko, click on categories, go to artificial intelligence. I like to sort by the biggest market cap and look at these projects. And we want to find who are the biggest projects in this field, right? Who are the biggest AI plays? And that's what I like to look at. Now, I will link up a video where I've done a breakdown of various different AI plays. But as you can see here, you can sort by market cap and start to find which are the players that are operating in this field. Render is having a strong day today. It's a $4.2 billion play in the GPU space. Of course, that's going to be big if everybody's trying to do AI. Near Protocol has a relationship with AI as well. Of course, you need to be looking at the likes of Ocean and other AI plays as well. I do a deeper breakdown in that video, but you got to have AI. You got to have some AI in your portfolio. Is it Fetch? Is it Ocean? Is it something else? That's something you guys have to decide and do your breakdown of. But definitely AI is going to be part of the portfolio in 2025, and you'll be making a big mistake if AI wasn't a part of your portfolio. I'm going to skip on now to the second narrative, a narrative which you've seen me talk about a lot to start off this year, to end last year and into the early parts of this year, and that is real world assets, right? I did the breakdown explaining how big the market cap is based on the projections from BlackRock, based on the projections from McKinsey. This is a multi-trillion-dollar projected asset class, right? And you best believe institutions will want adoption of this, right? So you've already seen the likes of Mantra on sitting here at 3.7 billion. You've got Ondo Finance sitting at 2.3 billion, QNT sitting at 1.7 billion. Again, real world assets and the tokenization of assets, you guys have heard about this theme, needs to be part of your portfolio going into this year. It certainly is a big focus for VCs. So we've got AI, they're going to want some real RWA, which is tokenization of assets. And again, for those who are getting confused by the lingo, right, AI is artificial intelligence stuff you guys are familiar with, the fact that you can use computing power to do a lot of the tasks that people are doing manually at the moment. But then the real world asset play is about taking what are traditional financial things, right? Traditional things you're used to in finance. Let's say, for example, real estate, and tokenizing it. Put it on the blockchain so that a person sat in the middle of Kenya somewhere could own a percentage of Manhattan's most expensive building. And that's the beauty behind RWA. And who's the leader in this play? We don't know yet. You can see who the early guys are here in the lead. You've got Mantra there, 3.7 billion market cap. But this is going to be an important space, and it's going to be important that we pick the winners going into 2025. And of course, I'll be sharing my insights. I'll be sharing my research as and when I get more data on some of these projects. So if you are interested in that, make sure you're subscribed with your notification bell on. Now, another important narrative which VC funds are locked and loaded on is infrastructure plays. And the reason I want to share this with you, and this particularly this type of video, is there's a temptation to just buy what's trending, right? The average crypto investor will jump onto, crypto bubbles and see what's popping off, and they'll be like, oh look, it's Doge, oh look, let's jump into Pengu, oh look, let's jump into this, right? And they don't really have a strategy. What's important is to understand what are the themes that are moving. And so far we've spoken about artificial intelligence, we've spoken about RWA, and now infrastructure. What does infrastructure mean? It means who are doing the things that allow blockchains to go and do what they're doing. Things like Chainlink, a project I've been speaking about for years and years on this channel, a project which I've been DCAing into. It's a $15 billion project. It's a data oracle, right? If you spoke to dApp developers across the world who are building layer 1 solutions, one thing they would not want you to turn off, one project they would not want you to shut down is Chainlink, right? They'd cry if you shut down Chainlink because that's what they rely on for data oracle, right? They rely on that for all the data feeds. Other things you could look at is Internet Computer, ICP, of course, Filecoin for storage. You got Phantom now coming up the ranks here as well. You got the Graph, which you can deem an AI play as well. A lot of these have kind of, you can cross them over in terms of category, but the concept is the same. Do you have exposure to things which are in nature infrastructure plays, right? Another one I'd put on this list is Atom, something like Cosmos Atom, right, with their inter-blockchain communication, the protocols they're building. These important things that people need in order to function on the blockchain, not just meme coins, like actual things they need, data oracles, file storage, things like render, right, to allow for compute power as well. Important narrative. Now there is another narrative that is coming up, and that is the narrative around stable coins, right? VCs really want to get involved in stable coins. You're seeing particularly, right? Look at Ethereum here. You can see Ethereum here enabling internet money, SUSDE with an APY of 10%. I did a breakdown of this project. I will link it up for you guys to go to go watch. But people are buying this right now, right? ENA is pumping up 7% today. 1.29's had a big week here, 38% on Ethereum. And maybe this is a project you want to look at as well. Of course, do your own research. I did a breakdown video where I pointed out some of the strengths, some of the weaknesses as well. I feel like it was quite a transparent video, so go watch that. Maybe I'll do an updated video. This was, in the early days when it first launched. Maybe I'll do a recap with some of my newer thoughts on Ethereum as a project. But we're doing a poll as well. Can Ethereum reach $4 this year? Comment below if you think Ethereum, the project, can reach $4. We're already sitting at $1.30 on this project. Now, jumping back into the charts before I give you one quick tip for how you can copy these VC funds. Yes, you can actually go and see their portfolios and copy. So if you want to see that, smash all the likes. I will be sharing that with you shortly. But first and foremost, let's jump into the charts. A nice important week here for Bitcoin, right? However you want to look at it, this is an important candlestick for Bitcoin. 4.7% at an important level where the bears had 2 strong weeks. We managed to show some strength. And what's particularly important here is we didn't even need to come down to our EMA ribbon. I mean, for those trying to, panic monger in these down candles, we were super far away from ever losing the trend here on Bitcoin. And that's what shows a lot of strength in this current movement in Bitcoin. We know post the elections, the Bitcoin movement has been big, the altcoin movement has been big, and this candlestick was really important. But of course, like we spoke about yesterday and today, this week was a big week for altcoins. Bitcoin dominance fell by 2%, despite it being a green week for Bitcoin, which means that altcoins overall moved a lot stronger, right? So you can take a look here, total 2 market cap, which is everything excluding Bitcoin, this includes Ethereum, is up 10%. If we take out Ethereum from the equation, total 3 is up 11%. So $104 billion came into altcoins this week, and you're seeing that, right? If you go into the bubbles and you take a look at some of the big performers this week, you can see things are starting to move. Whether it's Sui up 27% this week, Dogecoin up 22%, Pepe up 13%, SPX 60%, Phantom 8% on the dip, Pengu 11%, Litecoin moving 11%, Near Protocol 13%, Gala 21%, XLM 31%. I'm going to ignore this one at the bottom here. Look at this bubble here, guys. Yep, 66.8% for Filecoin. You degens are crazy. Ethereum, which we just spoke about here, hiding behind my chair, 41.8%. However you want to look at it, it's been a big week. It's been a big week for crypto in that we managed to bounce, but an even bigger week for altcoins, showing that they're alive and showing that they're ready to start moving. Right, so now for the tip. How do we know what VCs are doing? Well, jump into CoinGecko, go into categories, and you'll find categories for certain VCs, right? So you can see here, Andreessen Horowitz, one of the biggest VC investors in the world, A16Z, you've probably heard of it. You can go in, click on his portfolio, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, Avalanche, Sui, Uniswap, Near Protocol, ICP, Aptos, Optimism, WorldCoin, Lido, Maker. You can go down and see what projects A16Z are backing. You can also go down further down, see Multicoin Capital, again, one of the biggest VC funds, Ethereum, Solana, Near Protocol, ICP, Aptos, Render, Algorand, Graph, WorldCoin, Say, Lido, Rune, Arweave, Starknet, and you can just break it down, guys. What I like to do is I like to go and see which ones are everybody holding, right? Of course, things like Ethereum, things like Solana, Near Protocol, you start to see that these are common trends amongst many of the VCs. Now, I'm going to give you a pro tip as well. It's important not just to ape into whatever VCs are aping into, right? You can use this research to understand which projects are good, which projects are not, but be careful aping in. VCs have one advantage over you and I. They buy at a super low price point, right? It's important to understand they buy at a price point we can't comprehend. By the time it gets onto an exchange and we're buying, like, we're not getting the price they are. Therefore, they're more inclined to dump at a price point, even if the price is going down. They don't need to have the same holding power which you or I do. Doesn't mean you can't buy these projects. You can buy projects that VCs are holding. You've just got to be smart with your entries. Try to get your cost basis as low as possible. One example was with Solana. I've done really well on Solana over the years, but I've done so through making sure I'm buying the dip when the price is low, trying to get as low as a cost basis such that I have holding power. I've got the ability to hold because, like I said, these VCs were buying Solana long before we were able to go on an exchange and buy Solana. Hopefully you found this video useful. If you like this type of video breaking down VCs and what they're buying, smash all the likes. Do not forget to subscribe. AI, infrastructure play, real world assets. If you haven't looked into those three topics, you'll be doing yourself a favor just reading into them and learning. Go on to CoinGecko like I just showed you. Look at some of the projects who are the leading projects in each of those fields and decide if you like them for your portfolio. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.